Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing. Today, we're discussing the latest Omega Seamaster Planet Ocean, 43.5 millimeters in diameter in stainless steel. It measures 16.5 millimeters thickened from lug tip to lug tip, 49 millimeters with a 21 millimeter spacing between the lugs. On the wrist, 16 centimeters in circumference. You can see it's actually a good fit. I would recommend it for a wrist no smaller than 15 centimeters circumference, but particularly when I draw further away from the camera, the watch looks better sized to my wrist because my wrist and my arm and my hand are a lot bigger than they look. So even on my smallish wrist, this 43.5 looks pretty good. No, it won't fit underneath a dress cuff and maybe not even a jacket sleeve, but it will fit a wrist of 15 cm or larger diameter. Taking a quick look at the hardware and the software. The software in this case is 2 pieces of rubber, though it has a textile imprint on the top. The watch is a combination of rubber and rubber. You can see there's a contrasting orange and black, almost Halloween theme, but black and orange have been a motif on the Planet Ocean since the original version launched in 2005. We have a deployant clasp, which is a combination of polish and satinated. Twin triggers release it so it doesn't pop open accidentally. We know this clasp well from past Omega watches. And the strap tucks under the clasp, which then removes the need for minder loops and tucks all excess length under the strap for a very tidy look. Taking a quick look at the case, lyre-style lugs, we know them well, that inward and outward bevel, with the outward bevel polished the length of the case flank satinated, the crown slightly recessed in a sort of shear guard profile with a combination of media blasting and polish, and the helium escape valve, which is great for saturation divers, though you are few in number. But if helium intrudes into your watch during your dive, as you're ascending, provided this valve is open, when internal pressure reaches 2 to 3 bar beyond external pressure, the valve will internally open again, provided you've already unscrewed the crown, and it will release that helium to avoid blowing out the sapphires and the seals. The bezel has a insert that's a combination of orange rubber for the first 15 minutes, and then the rest is ceramic that's highly scratch resistant. You can see the knurling is a combination of satin and polish, and unlike the Diver 300 meter here, the knurling is narrow, sharp, and vertical, which makes it a lot easier to turn and grip this bezel when your hands are wet, slimy, gloved, or sweaty. Now we have a 120 click action. It feels good, it sounds good, it's a lot more refined than the standard Diver 300 meter. Line up that broad arrow style minute hand with the bezel, and you can see one of the best features of Omega divers. The minute hand and the bezel pearl are a different color from the rest of the dial, so it's easier to track them relative to each other as your dive time passes. You can see exactly how much time has elapsed. A feature I like on the Planet Oceans, the seconds hand is loomed. That is not always the case on old dive watches, though it should be, because it lets you know the watch is still running during your dive. We have a dial that is made of ceramic. You can see zirconium oxide, the chemical formula, just below the hands. All of the hands and indices are rhodium plated for a white, silvery shine. We have tri-Arabic numerals applied in orange, again, that orange and black motif, and the watch has a few nods to the original 1957 Seamaster 300, but in the era of the reborn Seamaster 300, the Planet Ocean isn't quite the nostalgia play it used to be. Now, the watch has a couple of different subsidiary setting modes. This is great for travelers, but you have a time zone function that allows you to change the hour and even drive the date forward or backwards without stopping the seconds hand or moving the minute hands. This is great for adjusting as you travel. The watch also has a hacking seconds function. Now the seconds hand stops and you can make these adjustments by yourself against a reference time so that your watch is accurate to the second. And I found that these 8900 series master chronometers, these METAS certified coaxial movements, they can easily run to within 1 second a day. The watch is 600 meters water resistant with the helium escape valve, and the movement protected therein is an 8900, which is the master chronometer version of the older 8500. Tri-level coaxial, realizing all of the advantages that George Daniels first proposed for this escapement system when he invented it in the 70s and when Omega industrialized it in 1999. Improved power reserve, improved chronometry, decreased wear and maintenance requirements. It's the full package. Bidirectional automatic winding, this movement, which is designed and built by ETA but exclusively for Omega, has a 60-hour power reserve, pivots on 39 joules. It beats away to quirky silicone hairspring-specific 25,200 vibrations per hour. For shock tolerance, it has a full balance bridge and a free-sprung balance, and it's effectively amagnetic. With an anti-magnetic escapement and an amagnetic silicone hairspring, it is resistant to over 15,000 Gauss. Remember, the Rolex 1000 Gauss is literally 1,000 Gauss. 1000 Gauss. This is 15,000 Gauss and beyond. So, it is also a master chronometer. This is a chronometer standard created by Omega and the Swiss Federal Institute of Metrology. So, it includes the ISO 3159 COSC standards, but it goes beyond that. A 6-position test of the fully cased-up watch, including chronometry, power reserve, winding efficiency, shock resistance, water resistance, and anti-magnetism. It is an open standard that Tudor has recently started using, but it is far more comprehensive than the COSC, in no small part because it applies to the fully assembled watch. This watch is a remarkable machine. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.